Good evening and welcome inside FirstEnergy Stadium as we get set for game number 2 of this 6-game series between the Reading Fightin Phillies and the Harrisburg Senators. This is the pregame show. My name is Jake Starr. We'll be joined alongside by Bob McCool coming up here in just a couple of moments. About 15 minutes from first pitch here at America's Classic Ballpark on what is another absolutely gorgeous day for baseball. Temperature has been in the mid-70s. I don't think there is a cloud in the sky, maybe a few, if any. And it's also a beautiful night for a win for the Fightin Phillies. Of course, it's been 9 straight losses for Reading, and tonight they will look to snap that skid and get back in the win column. After falling in last night's game 9-7, it was a back-and-forth affair for the Fightin Phillies and the Senators. And Harrisburg kind of controlled it mostly throughout, but Fightin Phillies kind of worked their way back in it. And eventually Reading did tie the game up in the 8th, but a 2-run home run off Andrew Walling in the 9th gave the Senators the lead and the eventual 9-7 victory. So that's where we stand after one night. Fightin Phillies, like we said, trying to get back in the win column, and it's a great night to do it. Moises Chasli on the mound, Kin Il Choi on the mound for the Senators, and it's all coming up moments away here at FirstEnergy Stadium. We had a chance earlier today to catch up with the Fightin Phillies manager, Al Padrique. Two-part interview with Al. The first part of that conversation is coming up on the pregame show right after this. So that was part one of our interview with Fightin Phil's manager, Al Padrique. We do apologize for some technical difficulties, but still able to get the interview aired. And always good stuff from the skipper. We'll have part two with the manager coming up prior to tomorrow night's game at 6:30. Moises Chasse and Hyun Il Choi have completed their warm-up tosses. Once again, I'm Jake Starr, joined alongside by Bob McCool. Appreciate you spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. And Bob, welcome you into the booth. We got game 2 of the series coming up here. I know it's 9 straight for the Fightin Phils. Flip the page, on to a new day. The bats showed up last night. Now we can see if they can kind of just play a complete game and, most importantly, finish it late.
Yeah, that's been if you really break it down into 3 components: offense, starting pitching, and relief pitching. And the Phils we thought would get solid starting pitching as the season materializes. It's hard to judge this early in the season because guys are not really getting their full complement of innings. They're starting to being allowed to get to 5 and 6 innings depending on the starter and where they are and how effective they are. But when the offense has shown up as it did last night, the bullpen has struggled. It hurt them in the road series to Portland, and it obviously got them last night. You score 7 runs in a game, it should be enough to win the game. It was not last night because the bullpen couldn't hold the lead. Give Harrisburg credit because every time the Phils made a push at them, Harrisburg got another run the next top half of the inning to keep the Phils at bay and continue to make them score more runs. And the bullpen could not get those shutdown innings that you're looking for. So they just have to put one good game together, break that losing streak, and things will look a little bit rosier. But it was good to see them continue to fight last night with the bats. Every time it looked like there was a gap between the Senators and the Phils, Reading came back and even got it tied up 7-7 going into the 9th inning.
Reading has shown some good resiliency even throughout this 9-game losing skid. And tonight's starter, Moises Chasse, when you talk about guys starting to stretch themselves out, he's someone that the Phillies and the Fightin Phils are keeping a close eye on and getting more stretched out. Chasse didn't pitch much in spring training, but Al Padrique said they'd like to get him through 4 innings tonight. That's the goal for Chasse. We'll kind of see what happens from there. Well, the Fightin Phils have taken the field for Game 2 of tonight's series against the Harrisburg Senators. That'll wrap up our post-game show. We'll step aside for the national anthem, and we'll have lineups and first pitch coming up for you right after this here on the Reading Fightin Phils Radio Network. Good evening and welcome inside America's Classic Ballpark, FirstEnergy Stadium, for game number 2 of a 6-game series between the Reading Fightin Phils and the Harrisburg Senators. My name is Jake Starr, joined alongside, as always, by my broadcast partner, Bob McCool. Fightin Phils have taken the field, and let's take a look at the lineup that Delano DeShields and the Harrisburg Senators will center the plate for tonight's game. Philip Glasser leads things off, hoping the DH. Nick Schnell is second in center field. Yoandy Morales bats third, he'll play third. Caden Wallace fourth at second. Joe Naranjo bats fifth, he'll play first base. Carlos De La Cruz is sixth in right field. Jeremy De La Rosa seventh in left. Maxwell Romero Jr., the catcher, bats eighth. And Cortland Lawson is ninth, he'll play shortstop. Once again, it's Glasser, Schnell, Morales, Wallace, Naranjo, De La Cruz, De La Rosa, Romero Jr., and Lawson. And on the mound for the Fightin' Phils, it is Moises Chasse.
Chasse making his fourth start of the season. So far, limited amount of innings, as Jake said, the Fightin' Phils hoping to stretch him out a little bit further in each and every start. So far, 7 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 7 hits. He's given up 5 runs, 9 strikeouts, and a little bit more concerning in terms of the walks at 8 so far on the year.
Yeah, walks traditionally have not been an issue for Chasse. So as he works his way back into things this year, we'll see if that number can take a step down. Set to defense behind Moises Chasse. Keaton Anthony at first base. Trent Farquhar is at second. Aiden Miller plays short, and Luis Verdugo is at third. In right field, it's Felix Reyes. Center field, Ilio Prado. Left field, it's Hendry Mendez. Three-man Eastern League umpire crew. Ethan Gorsak has balls and strikes. Rafael Pineda is at first. And our crew chief, Tyler Whitty, rounds out this crew at third base. Beautiful day, as we said, 73 degrees, sunny skies. Temperature is presented by All Temp Enterprises. So it'll be Philip Glasser leads things off on this Wednesday night for the Senators. He'll dig in from the left side, and Moises Chasse will fire the first one home. That misses up for a ball, 1-0. 6:49, time of our first pitch tonight. Glasser, 370 hitter on the season so far, and the 1-0 to him. Swinging a foul ball straight back. It's 1-1. Chasse last pitch against Binghamton 10 days ago, the Sunday finale of that series. He was scheduled to pitch this past Sunday, but that game was ultimately rained out at Portland. Pitch home. Swung on, hit in the air towards center. Not particularly deep. Prado tracks back a couple and to his right, and the center fielder makes the grab for out number 1.
And obviously, quick outs are going to help Chasse as he tries to extend them, and whether or not he can get himself to a 4-inning performance or even perhaps to a 5th inning and be in a position to pick up a decision as well. But not getting himself behind in counts, getting himself efficient outs as he just did there is a great way to get it going.
Nick Schnell digs in. First one to him. Spit up. It's 1-0. Fightin' Phils tonight come back in their home pinstripe uniforms. Red Fightin' Phils across the front. Red caps with the white F fist. Senators in their road grays say Harrisburg across the front in red. 1-0. Swung on, lifted behind home plate, and out of play foul. It's 1-1. Nick Schnell, a .329 hitter on the season so far. No home runs. Has driven in 8. And Chasse deals the 1-1. Swung on, lifted again, foul behind home plate. It's 1-2.
Well, with a pretty small sample size, which is, of course, a second batter in, so far, Chasse has been filling up the strike zone.
Chasse attacking the zone early. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a ball tap straight down foul. It'll stay 1-2. Schnell in his first season in the national system, signed as a minor league free agent in December. Spent the first 6 years of his pro career in the Angels system. 1-2 is swung on, fouled straight back, goes over the press box, and it stays 1-2. Chasse from the windup holds the gloves in front of his face. Red glove, and he'll rock and deal the 1-2. Swung on, off the hands. Fly ball, shallow left towards the line. Mendez over, and it'll land foul on the warning track. Out of the reach of the left fielder, Hendry Mendez, and Nick Schnell continues the battle.
Yeah, long run for Mendez to get there. Kind of cheating a little bit towards that left center field gap.
So it'll stay a ball and 2 strikes. Schnell, who did run on that swing, so he has slowly made his way back to home plate. Split last year between AA Montgomery, AAA Durham in the Rays system, and the 1-2 to Schnell. Swung on, ground ball first. Can of corn play for Keaton Anthony. He'll glove it, touch the bag, and that is out number 2. That'll bring Yoandy Morales to the plate. Morales, it's all righty, digs in from the right side. Enters tonight at 269. It's got 4 home runs, 12 runs driven in. And Chasse fires the first one home. That's a bit down for a ball. It's 1-0. Good night last night for Morales. 3 for 5. Double a home run. Drove in 3. Also stole a base. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Way out in front of a slider. Phillies acquired Chasse last July and traded San Gregory Soto over to the Baltimore Orioles. 1-1 is just down. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Chasse, who was acquired along with Seth Johnson, whom the Phillies have actually began the process of converting to a relief pitcher. And the pitch home. Swung on and a tapper towards third. Verdugo charges, gloves it, fires from the 5.5 hole, and it's in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Moises Chasse to start off the night. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base for the Senators. We're through a half. Harrisburg, nothing. Fightin' Phil's coming to bat. Harrisburg down in order in the top half of the first and now in the home half of the frame. Let's see how the Fightin' Phils line up tonight. Presented by Golden Oaks Landscaping. Trent Farquhar back in the leadoff spot. Plays second. Aiden Miller is second and plays short. Hendry Mendez third and left. Keaton Anthony fourth at first base. Felix Reyes fifth at right. Luis Verdugo sixth at third. Elio Prado seventh in center. Andrik Nava eighth the catcher. And Colton Bender is ninth. He's the DH. And on the mound for the Senators, Hyun-Il Choi.
Right-hander, originally from South Korea, making his second start with the Senators, but he did pitch in 3 games, pitched in 4 games, but started 3 of them in AAA with Rochester to a highly ineffective rate.
And Trent Farquhar in. First pitch home is over for a strike. It's 0-1.
It's been a rough start for Choi at Rochester, 0-3 with a 15-plus earned run average. Gave up 14 hits in 8 1/3 innings pitched. Of those 14 hits, 3 of them were home runs.
And the pitch home. Farquhar swings and he fouls it back. It's 0-2.
Then he got sent back down to Harrisburg, and in his first start with the Senators, he did go 6 innings, but he gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, struck out 7, only walked 1, but he gave up 2 more home runs in that start.
0-2 the count early to Farquhar. Next pitch, he swings and it's fouled down the left field line. 0-2.
So to patch all of those together in 4 starts so far, Hyun-Il Choi has given up 5 home runs.
Farquhar homered a night ago. Was his first double-A long ball. 0-2 the count to the second baseman. Pitch home. Bit up at the letters. It's 1-2. Choi, who was in the Dodgers system prior to this year, was a minor league Rule 5 draft pick by the Nationals from the Dodgers this past December. And the 1-2 to him. Farquhar swings. Ground ball towards the middle. Backhanded and bobbled by Wallace at second. Farquhar safe at first. Probably going to be an error on Caden Wallace. If so, it's his 3rd of the season. and it's a leadoff base runner for the Fightin Phils.
It's certainly a play he should have made. He backhanded it. Maybe he could have taken another step and fielded it more in front of him, but tried to backhand it and it ate him up. And it is indeed an error, so Trent Farquhar is on board.
So that'll bring Aiden Miller to the plate for the Fightin Phils. Miller riding a 13-game on-base streak. First pitch to him is over for a strike. It's 0-1. The Miller 13-game on-base streak is the second longest active in the Eastern League, trailing only Dalen Lyle. And if he gets on base tonight, it'll technically be the longest because Lyle just got called up to AAA. Pitch is outside. It's 1-1. Miller in last night's ball game, 0 for 3. Couple of walks, 2 strikeouts. Sits at 197. Couple of home runs and 4 runs driven in. Pitch home is taken outside. It's 2 balls, 1 strike to the Phillies' number 2 prospect. Set the defense for Harrisburg. Naranjo at first, Wallace second. Lawson short, Morales third. Carlos De La Cruz in right, Schnell in center, De La Rosa in left, Romero Jr. the catcher. The next pitch to Miller, swung on, hit towards shallow right. De La Cruz in slides, makes the catch. Farquhar was between first and second, but he gets back. So a nice catch by Carlos De La Cruz, and there's 1 down in the inning for Hendry Mendez.
Now, familiar territory out there for Carlos. Of course, he played all 3 outfield positions in his time at Reading, and then the trial balloon of playing at first base as well. But he does and can cover ground, but was always more comfortable, I thought, watching him play on a regular basis. Much more comfortable as one of those 2 corner outfielders.
So that'll bring Hendry Mendez to the plate. First things first, they'll check on Trent Farquhar, who dives back in without an issue. News out of Philadelphia, Kyle Schwarber, 3-run home run in the first inning.
So they get off to the start with a Schwarber bomb just like they did last night.
It's not even June yet.
That's a good thing.
First pitch to Mendez, bit in tight, delayed steal Farquhar. The throw takes to the other side of the bag, but Cortland Lawson, a shortstop, still able to get the tag down. So Farquhar is thrown out. That's the 3rd base runner that Romero has thrown out stealing this year. Pitch was a ball, so it's 1-0. 2 outs quickly. Batters Mendez in a scoreless game.
I don't know if that was the design delayed steal, if it was a missed sign of some kind of a hit and run or what, but it was all in all a failed attempt.
1-0 is down and in, 2-0. First time Farquhar has been caught stealing this year. Was previously 7 for 7 on the base pass. 2-0 the count to Mendez. Good night for him last night. He had 3 hits, double and a couple of runs driven in. 2-0 is bid up 3-0.
Yeah, we've been seeing this coming. Hendry Mendez is slowly and I don't want to say methodically, but just slowly and getting more and more used to hitting at this level. And again, he's only 21 years of age, so a very young Double-A hitter.
3-0. Choi fires home. Mendez taken all the way, watches it by for a strike. It's 3-1. Mendez leads the team in multi-hit games with 6. Also has a trifecta of 3-hit games as well. And the 3-1, swinging a tapper foul towards the Fightin's dugout on the right side. It's 3-2. Mendez, who was acquired with Robert Moore in November of 2023 from the Milwaukee Brewers in a trade that sent Oliver Dunn to Milwaukee. 3-2 is swung on and lifted foul. And the count will stay full to Hendry Mendez. 2 gone, bottom of the first, still a scoreless game. Bases are clear. Infield has Mendez to go to the right side. Choi will work from the windup and fire the payoff pitch. On the outside corner, called strike 3. First strikeout tonight for Hyun Il Choi, and he will send down the first in order. No runs, no hits. There was an error, and no men are left on base. We've played 1. Harrisburg and Reading still knotted up at nothing. International Fireworks is the official sponsor of the Phillies fireworks shows during the 2025 season. Head to their store at 242 Sycamore Road in Douglasville or visit fireworksrus.com. On to the top half of the second inning. Still a scoreless ball game. Both teams sent down in order in their respective frames. Of course, Reading came due to a caught stealing. Harrisburg was sent down on fly out on a couple of ground outs induced by Moises Chasse of the Senators. And Chasse back on the mound for Reading. Caden Wallace leads things off. 4-5-6 due up. And the first one home is bit down. It's 1-0. Chasse, someone a lot in the Phillies organization have very high expectations of. 1-0 is swung on and sliced out of play foul to the right side. Chasse, the number 5 prospect in the Phillies system. He was added to the Phillies 40-man roster after last season, along with Gene Cabrera, protecting them from the Rule 5. 1-1 is a bit outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Chasse still just 21 years old. He'll turn 22 on June the 9th. And the 2-1 is a breaking pitch left a bit high, 3-1. Caden Wallace hitting a hair over 200 on the year. He's got a couple home runs and 9 runs driven in. And the 3-1 is swung on, hit in the air towards center. Not deep. Prado starts back, then tracks in, couple of steps to his left. And the center fielder makes the catch for out number 1. And that'll bring Joe Naranjo to the plate. Chasse was tabbed to start the spring breakout game for the Phillies back in March. Looks really good. Just an inning of work. 1-2-3 frame. Struck out 2 hitters. As we said, it was a limited sample size this spring for Chasse. First pitch in Naranjo's down and in. 1-0 to the lefty. So still being built back up. The hope, according to manager Al Padrique, is 4 innings tonight. And you kind of see where you go from there. The 1-0 is swung on and fouled. 1-1. He's gotten a lot of balls in on the hands early tonight, the Senators hitters.
Yeah, I think his location has been really, really good so far. Not getting himself in deep counts.
And the 1-1. Bit up at the letters. 2 balls, 1 strike to Joe Naranjo. 235 hitter, home run, 4 RBIs for the 23-year-old Naranjo. 2-1 is swung on and lifted foul. It's 2-2. Naranjo was signed by the Nationals last summer as a free agent. Was with Akron last June when he was released by Cleveland and then later signed with Washington. 2-2 is down and in with a changeup, runs the count full. Was originally a 3rd-round pick out of high school back in 2019 by Cleveland. In from the left side, 3 balls, 2 strikes to count to him. And the pitch home. That's up ball 4. So really the first time tonight we see Chasse struggle a little bit with command. Issues a walk to Naranjo, and that'll bring Carlos De La Cruz to the plate.
That's what we're talking about in terms of his pitch count. And maybe not, that's how you keep your pitch count low. Senators have fouled several pitches off so far in this through 5 batters.
25 pitches for Chasse. Pitch to De La Cruz with a nice slider. It's in for a strike, 0-1. Good first game of the series for our old friend Carlos De La Cruz. Had a 2-run double that played a pivotal role in that game as Harrisburg won by 2, 9-7. 0-1 is swung on, hit in the air towards right. High but shallow. Reyes in towards the line, into foul territory, and Felix Reyes, the right fielder, makes the catch for out number 2. So De La Cruz is retired, and that'll now bring up De La Rosa, Jeremy De La Rosa.
Reyes fighting the sun the whole way to get there, but again, now you get back to an at-bat with De La Cruz, and you get him out in just a couple of pitches. And so if Chasse can get De La Rosa pretty harmlessly here, he's fine. less than 30 pitches or 30 pitches to get through 2 innings.
First pitch home is a little down for a ball. It's 1-0 the count to De La Rosa. First time we're seeing him this week. He's a 192 hitter, was just 2 for 13 last week. And the 1-0 home. Bit up, 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 the count. Naranjo leads off first. Chase set at the belt, deals home. And it's swung on and lifted foul. It's 2-1. I think I might run out of baseballs at the rate that Harrisburg's fouling balls off tonight. So 2 on the count to Jeremy De La Rosa. He's driven in 3 so far this year. Pitch to him. Swung on, lifted in the air. And you guessed it, it's foul again. 2-2, this time on the left side.
Yeah, but that's how you drive a pitcher's pitch count up. That's just good baseball on the part of the Senators. It's also telling you that Chase's pitches right now are not missing bats.
Two. Swung on, lifted in the air, in the infield. In comes Miller from the left side. He makes the call on the grass and makes the catch for out number 3. So 2 pretty seamless innings so far for Moises Chase. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. We will head to the home half for the second. Still 0-0. Bottom half of the second inning is brought to you by Cornwall Manor, an active senior living, not-for-profit community in scenic Cornwall, PA, outside of Lebanon. Still scoreless in this bottom of the second. 4, 5, 6 through up on a beautiful night for baseball here in Baseball Town. Got a great weekend coming up, and just a great summer on deck. Lots of fireworks, a drone show, Hall of Fame night, tons of promotions, and just a great place to, bring your group out to the ball game. Don't want to host at home? Bring them out here. Give John and Nick from the Fightin's group office a call, and they'll get you all hooked up on a great group outing here in Baseball Town. So Keaton Anthony leads things off for the Fightin Phils. Anthony had an RBI double in last night's game, putting his total at 11 on the season. And he'll dig in from the right-handed batter's box. First one to him is taken for a ball, 1-0. Hyun-Il Choi is back in for inning number 2 of work after a 1-2-3 first inning. 1-0 is swung on, hit in the air towards right, slicing towards the line, foul territory. De La Cruz gives it a look, but it'll go out of play foul. It's 1-1. Overall, Anthony at 269. Just a home run, 11 RBI so far this year. And the pitch. He swings again, hits it down the right field line, slicing again, pretty much in the same corner. Out of play, 1 and 2.
Tire him out.
I think De La Cruz is going to maybe shade over towards the line a little bit.
Well, Anthony's double last night, he rocked that one off the right center field wall and off the Redners Event Center. So that seems to be his power center.
And the 1-2. Bit down, 2 and 2. Good take from Anthony on a close pitch. his double last night. He's up to 7 on the season. Tied for 3rd in the Eastern League in that category. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Out in front of a curveball was Keaton Anthony. He's down on strikes. So second strikeout for Hyun-Il Choi. First out of the inning will bring Felix Reyes to the plate for the Fightin Phils.
Yeah, he really fooled Anthony on that one. Anthony turned and walking back to the dugout, asked the home plate umpire Ethan Gorsak whether or not that was a strike or not. Not that he obviously knew he swung and missed at it, but I think he just wanted to know, did I chase a bad pitch? Was it out of the strike zone or not? And the answer to this question was yes. Wasn't a terrible pitch, but
first pitch to Reyes over for a strike. It's 0-1.
It just really much more fooled him than it was had him chase it.
So Reyes' first start in a couple of days, 3 for 10 last week at Portland. Next pitch, swung on and a line drive back through the middle, base hit. So first hit of the night for either team comes off the bat of Felix Reyes. A rare single for him. And one out base runner for Reading, and that'll bring Luis Verdugo to the plate.
Yeah, he hasn't been a regular in the lineup, but when he's been in it, he's provided some lumber.
So Luis Verdugo digs in from the right side. Good night last night for Verdugo. Couple of hits. That being a double and a home run. And the pitch is at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Overall, 2 home runs for Verdugo. He's driven in 8 so far this season, including 1 more last night. Pitch home is swung on and lifted foul out of play. It's 0-2.
Nice to see this team get out ahead and make somebody chase them for a change. It just seems like throughout this season, and obviously very much during this losing streak, it seems like the Phils are always trying to play catch up like they were last night.
Through 20 games this year, Reading has scored first in 8 of them. Opposition has scored first in 12. Surprisingly, though, Reading is 1-7 in the 8 games in which they have scored first.
So maybe they should score first.
And the 0-2. Verdugo takes it, but it's a called strike 3. Curveball right at the knees from Hyun-Il Choi. It's the 3rd strikeout tonight for him, and that'll bring Elio Prado to the plate for Reading.
Verdugo didn't like it, but it was pretty close. It may have been, I mean, it's a borderline on the outside corner pitch. I mean, if you're a hitter, you don't like it. If you're the pitcher and the catcher, you think it's a great call.
And the pitch to Prado. Fastball up and in. It's 1-0. So as we said, Choi was with the Dodgers organization previously. He signed with them as an international free agent out of South Korea in August of 2018. And the 1-0. Low and away with a curveball. It's 2-0. Prado sitting right at 200 on the season. He's got a home run, 8 RBI. Was a Rule 5 pick of the Phillies in the minor league side this past offseason. Pitch to him. It's over for a called strike. Sinker at 90. Count goes 2-1. Reyes the lead off first. Naranjo holds him on. Next pitch, Prado swings and he hits it foul down the right field line and slices out of play. It's 2-2. Left side pretty straight up. Caden Wallace at second, shaded towards the bag. So if Naranjo holding the runner at first, very large hole on the right side. Outfield pretty straight up. 2-2, up and in towards the helmet of Prado, who ducks out of the way of it. And the count goes full. So with 2 outs, Reyes will be off and running on the pitch. Three, 2 outs, still scoreless, bottom 2. And the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, it's foul down the left field line, and the count will remain full. .32 pitches for Choi so far tonight. Even stance right in the batter's box for Leo Prado. Count full, 2 outs. Reyes gets the lead. He'll be off and running on the pitch. And the payoff. Swung on, ground ball right to the shortstop, Lawson. 3 hops for him, waits back on it, scoops it up and throws the first in time. And that will retire the side in the second. No runs, Fightin instead of a hit. That man left on base. We played 1.5. On to the third. Fightin, Phils, and Senators. Still gridlock, 0. Top of the third inning, and we want to thank our good friends at Pepsi for presenting the 2025 season here in Baseball Town. Go Fightin Phils and drink more Pepsi. So still scoreless in this top half of the third inning, 8-9-1. Due up to the plate for Harrisburg, Maxwell Romero making his first start of the week. Will dig on in from the left side against Moises Chasse. Again, my name is Jake Starr, joined alongside by Bob McCool. Appreciate you spending part of your Wednesday evening with us here at FirstEnergy Stadium. So Chasse's first pitch home is swung on and it's popped up. It'll go out of play foul, and it's 0-1. Romero, a 143 bat, home run, 4 RBIs so far. Pitch to him, swung on, hit in the air towards shallow left. In comes Mendez, and he will scoop it on one hop on a dive. So that'll be a single for Romero. Looked like Mendez didn't see it right away, kind of started back, then had to crash in late.
Yeah, he just didn't pick it up off the bat. He started to kind of circle it and then charge it. He think off the bat thought it was hit a little bit harder, a little bit further, and thought he just had to kind of drift over to his left and then realized, nope, it's not going to get to me, and then try to kick it into a high gear, just couldn't get there.
So Cortland Lawson, the 9-man, will dig on in. It will be a hit. It's the first one of the night for Harrisburg. The first pitch to Lawson's over for a called strike. It's 0-1. Of course, Mendez had that nice kind of tumbling, falling down catch a night ago. That time unable to come up with it. 0-1 is swung on a line drive towards center. That'll fall for a base hit. Prado gets to it quickly, stopping at second's Romero. So it's back-to-back singles, and all of a sudden it's first and second, nobody out for the top of the order and Philip Glaser.
Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff in terms of stretching Chasse out and how far can Chasse get to get back to the point where he's getting to 5 and 6 innings, which is what you want if you obviously are going to be a starting pitcher. But here we go. We start the inning with the 8 and 9-hole hitter, both of whom are hitting well below 200, and he got 2 on and nobody out.
First one to Glaser, squares the bunt, pulls back, and it's a strike.
Interesting to see if they actually do have him bunting here, if it was just Glaser trying to maybe draw the infield up a little bit. He's now got Verdugo up on the grass in front of the bag.
As is Anthony at first. Middle infield's back in double play depth. And this time he's swinging away. Pitch home is swung on, lifted. Foul territory down the left field line. Long run for Mendez, and he'll watch as it goes out of play foul. And the count quickly 0-2 to Philip Glaser.
But if you're a left-handed hitter and you do what Glaser is able to do there by showing bunt, now you bring the third baseman closer to the bag, closer to you, Shortstop's cheating a little bit towards second. It really opens up the entire left side of that infield, not the entire left side, but a good, much bigger portion of it. If you're a left-hand hitter, they can go the other way.
So no balls, 2 strikes. Infield can shift back. Still in double play depth. And the pitch to Glasser, swinging a miss, struck him out. Took a 4-seam fastball up and into the lefty. Can't make contact with it. First strikeout tonight for Moises Chase. That'll bring Nick Schnell to the plate.
And in the event that that's what Glasser's thinking, that's a great comeback then by Chase with Nava calling the pitch, which is an up and in pitch to the left-hand hitter. So it's not something he's going to be able to go the other way with. And Glasser ends up coming up empty.
So Schnell in from the left side. First pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. Way out in front of a changeup. Has to step out, adjust his helmet.
Yeah. Need to rethink there if you're Nick Schnell.
He was hunting fastball. 40 pitches tonight for Chase. And deals home. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Right
Same
back to
pitch.
it. Yep.
To
right
do it
back.
a third time?
Well, no. Now I come back with gas because now he's seen back-to-back 84 changeup. Actually, I'd go fastball to make him chase. It'd be fastball up high and see if I can't get him to chase up high.
No balls, 2 strikes to count to Nick Schnell. First and second, the runners, 1 out in the third. Pitch home. Swung on, hit in the air towards center. It's pretty deep. Back is Prado. He will size it up, edge of the track, makes the catch. Tag in second and third goes Romero. Throw goes to second, keeping Lawson at first. And that is out number 2. So now it's men on the corners for Yoandy Morales. Prado has been busy tonight in center.
Wasn't a terrible pitch by Chase, but it's not where Nava wanted it. Nava had put the mitt up high, saying he wanted what I said, which is a fastball up and out of the strike zone to get him to chase. It was a high fastball, but it wasn't out of the strike zone.
So Morales in, still scoreless, top 3. First pitch. Big swing and a miss on a slider. It's 0-1.
And even that, he had Morales way out in front. So to Jake's point, last 2 hitters, especially for Harrisburg, going up there thinking they're going to get first pitch fastball and haven't seen it.
0-1. Bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Morales.
And this is one I would not give him something middle of the strike zone in any way that's straight.
0 for 1 tonight's Morales. Grounded out the third in the first. 1-1. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
Yeah, he's got one thing on his mind right now. He had that in the first swing, and he had it again here on the second. And there's you cannot throw him a fastball, especially now at 1-2. Make him chase.
1-2. 2 outs. Runners get their leads. Pitch home. At the knees. Called strike 3. Moises Chase with some paint to get out of a jam in the third. Couple of strikeouts in the frame. No runs, couple of hits, no errors. 2 men left for the Senators on to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless between Reading and Harrisburg. Bottom half of the third inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. You can expect reliable and experienced attorneys who are committed to getting you justice after a serious personal injury. Call Swartz Culleton at 1-800-JUSTICE. So bottom of the third inning, we're still scoreless. Keonil Choi is back in for the Senators. And he'll get 8, 9, and 1 in the Fightin Phillies lineup. It'll start with Andrik Nava. And then Colton Bender awaits on deck. So Nava, the switch hitter, in from the left side. And first one home is hit up with the letters. It's 1-0. Nava, first start in a little while. He's a 231 hitter. Does have one extra base hit on the season. 3 RBI, 1-0. Swung on, ground ball to Hopper for the shortstop. Wallace fires the first in time, and that is out number 1. And that'll bring Colton Bender to the plate. So Bender making his Fightin Phils along with his Phillies organizational debut. Also will be his Double-A debut tonight. So he's never played a game above High A. In from the right side, 1 out. And the pitch home. It's over for a strike. It's 0-1. Bender, who is a catcher, but he's the DH tonight, was signed by the Phillies on April 18th. Was assigned to the Iron Pigs, didn't play, and then got assigned to Reading on the 22nd. So joined the team last week in Portland, the 0-1. Bender takes outside, 1-1. Drafted by the Padres in 2021 in the 10th round, where he played his college ball at Quinnipiac up in Connecticut and was with the Padres until he got released at the end of spring training this year. 1-1. Swung on and a slow roller towards third. Morales charges, gloves it with one hand, fires the first. It's in time. Good stretch at first by Naranjo, and that's out number 2 as 5-3 goes to put out. And that'll flip the card over to bring Trent Farquhar to the plate. So Trent Farquhar steps in. He did reach in the first on a fielding error by Wallace at second and was eventually caught stealing while trying to get to second. First pitch to Farquhar is outside. It's 1-0. That was pitch number 39 for Choi. 80 his season high, 96 his career high. And the next pitch to Farquhar. Bounce right to Choi, fields it, has to wait a second for Naranjo to get over, and then he just floats it over there, and it's in time. So 1-3 goes the put out, and it's a speedy, quick 1-2-3, bottom half of the third inning. Third of the way through. Harrisburg nothing, Reading at nothing. We'll be back after this. The Fightin Phillies Radio Network on 830 WEEU.com. On to the top half of the fourth inning. Still a scoreless ball game between Reading and Harrisburg. And now to take over on the play-by-play is my broadcast partner, Bob McCool.
Thank you very much, Jake. No runs, 2 hits, and an error for the Senators. No runs, a hit, and no errors for the Fightins. Moises Chasse at 46 pitches as he begins this fourth inning, facing 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Senators. That's Caden Wallace, Joe Naranjo, and Carlos De La Cruz. Chasse, the 21-year-old right-hander, winds and delivers. Fastball that Wallace chases up high and swings and misses for strike 1. Chasse will turn 22 on June the 9th. So still very, very young at this Double-A level. A 1 pitch from him. This one is fouled away. I think the radar for the development of Moises Chassé really kind of escalated after his time called up here in Reading. And his 4 starts with Reading last year, he was brilliant. 2-1, 3.66 earned run average, but 35 strikeouts in 19 2/3 innings. Obviously pitched twice for Jersey Shore after the trade from the Orioles. And then the 4 more starts in Reading. 0-2 pitch, hit hard in the left side, past the diving Aiden Miller and into left field for a base hit. As Caden Wallace comes up with the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Senators. He's a leadoff base runner here in the 4th for Joe Naranjo.
Yeah, good effort by Miller, but not a ton you can do there. It was hit hard, 108 off the bat, and just found the right spot of the field. Chassé worked around some trouble in the 3rd. See if he can work around this leadoff single here in the 4th.
2 leadoff singles to start the inning. Last inning in the 3rd. Wallace starts the 4th with a base hit as well. Here's Naranjo, who walked his first time up. The only walk surrendered by Chassé so far. And the first pitch is outside for a ball.
Sort of fan yell, Carlos, don't hurt us. We still like you.
Saw a smattering of applause for Carlos when he came to plate the last time up. This one off the foot of Naranjo. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Lino DeShields, the manager for the Harrisburg Senators, actually coaching at first with Oscar Salazar, their development coach, coaching at 3rd. As they did last night. Lead off of first for Cade Wallace. The 1-1 pitch to the plate. Breaking ball just misses inside. Actually, that was the changeup for Chassé. And a long look in from Chassé and some words from the dugout. Because Ethan Gorshak has got his nose right now pointed in the direction of the Fightin Phillies dugout. 2 balls and a strike. Good changeup there, and he had him way out in front, 2-2.
Yeah, changeups looked really good tonight. Harrisburg hitters have just been completely fooled by that pitch. I mean, his bread and butter has been his fastball. Velocity-wise, it's not at where it was last year, so got to mix it up. And the changeup has been a really consistent pitch so far.
2-2 pitch. This one lifted into right field and deep. Back goes Reyes back to the track, and he makes the catch with his back all but up against the fence for out number 1.
Yeah, that traveled a good bit, 333 feet, but it was a all-speed pitch inside of the lefty, and I think he just got it a bit too much on the hands, couldn't get enough barrel on it, and all in all, just a long fly out.
So that does bring up Carlos de la Cruz. Of course, Carlos played parts of 3 seasons here in Baseball Town, including 65 games here last year before his call up to AAA. Swing and a miss. Signed as a free agent, in the minor league free agent by the Washington Nationals in the offseason. Originally signed by the Phillies as an undrafted player coming out of George Washington High School back in 2017. 0-1 pitch, outside for a ball. It's 1-0-1. Carlos hit 24 home runs, 67 RBIs, and was a Eastern League All-Star in 2023. His only full season in Reading. Played 38 games here in 2022, in addition to his 65 last year. Here's a pitch that's low. It's 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Carlos de la Cruz. A bit of a different look from Carlos in the batter's box. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, off speed pitch, throw down. Nava's throw is not in time. Stolen base for Caden Wallace. So he's now in scoring position with 1 out, and a 2 balls and 2 strike count to De La Cruz. But looking at Carlos with that front foot, not quite spread out as much as he was, and also up on the ball of that front foot as well. That is a different look than what he had when he was here as a Philly. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as he gets him to chase the changeup. And strikeout number 3 for Chassé, out number 2 here in the 4th.
And like you said, it's that changeup again. That's been his bread and butter pitch tonight.
So that'll bring up the left fielder, Jeremy De La Cruz. De La Cruz popped up in the infield his first time up. Left-handed hitter as Chase from the stretch takes a look back at second now with 2 outs. And this is a hopper down the first base line. Keaton Anthony fields it, but it's in foul territory. De La Rosa at 192 on the season, a couple of doubles and 3 RBIs. Last year played at 3 different levels, at Fredericksburg, at Wilmington, and at Harrisburg, the last 44 games of the season with the Senators. Chase again with a second look back to second base. And a long look now comes to the plate and comes with a strike. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes to De La Rosa. There's some activity up in the Fightin's bullpen as Chase's now at 61 pitches.
Jack Dallas up and throwing. Wouldn't surprise me if this is it for Chase. He is at a season high in pitches.
0-2 pitch, just misses. Chase thought it was a strike. Nava thought it was a strike. Home plate umpire did not. So it's 1-2.
That's the only opinion that matters.
It's borderline for sure. Chase again comes home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him that time as Chase ends up with another strikeout after the leadoff single. No more further damage for the Senators in the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. We're scoreless in Reading. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning, and the Fightin' Phils will send Aiden Miller, Hendry Mendez, and Keaton Anthony to the plate. That's 2, 3, and 4 in skipper Al Padrique's lineup. The skipper at third base, his usual spot. Michael Jones now heading out, headed to the first base coaching box, looking for a little bit of camaraderie on the base pass. Phils with just 2 base runners so far. Trent Farquhar on base to start the game by way of error. He got caught stealing, and then a base hit for Felix Reyes in the 2nd. That's it for the Fightins offensively, just the 1 hit. And the first pitch from Hyun-Il Choi to Aiden Miller is outside, or ball 1. Maybe outside and high as well. Miller flew out to right field his first time up. And this 1-0 pitch is at the knees for a called strike 1. Choi is 24 years of age. As Jake said, signed as a minor league free agent by the Nationals in the offseason after spending time with the Dodgers. Big hack there for Aiden Miller, fouls it straight back, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miller will turn 21 on June the 9th. So how about that? Moises Chase and Aiden Miller share a birthday, 1 year apart. Miller a year older. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Miller. This one ripped into left field, falling fast, and will fall in front of left fielder Jeremy De La Rosa. And Aiden Miller has himself a base hit. Kind of got it off the end of the bat. But he got enough of it to get it into left field and in front of the left fielder for a singles. Phil's second hit, and they've got a leadoff base runner here in the fourth.
Yeah, that's what good hitters do. They just find a way to get enough of it, find some green grass. That's what Miller did. Snaps a 3-game hitless straw and also puts himself at a 14-game on-base streak.
So I bring up Henry Mendez. Mendez struck out his first time up after a good night last night. A night that had his batting average at 294 when the game began. Shows bunt, drops it down the third base line, and it will stay fair. Choi picks it up on a hop, and it's going to be safe all around. Probably would have been best to let that go and hope it spins foul, but he had no chance to get Mendez. It's a bunt base hit.
Oh, man, talk about a thing of beauty from Henry Mendez. Everyone was back and over, no one expecting it, and just drops down an absolutely perfect bunt.
So now you got 2 men on and nobody out, and Keaton Anthony, who is among the team leaders in RBIs, second with 11 in total, and a chance to make something happen here with 2 on and nobody out. And the pitch. Troy almost came a little sidearm there, at least a 3/4 delivery, and misses it outside. Klein Transportation, proud to be the official transportation provider of the Reading Fightin Phils. Klein Transportation gets the R-Phils to all their road trips throughout the 2025 season. For more information, go to KleinTransportation.com. 1-0 pitch. Catches the outside corner here. It's 1-1. It's going to continue some chirping for the strike zone for our home plate umpire tonight. A couple pitches around the same spot that were balls in top half of the inning. There's strikes there. 1-1 pitch. Line into right field. It's going to be a base hit. Miller got a late jump, but he's going to get the go signal. De La Cruz will fire it into third base. That is not in time as Henry Mendez moves up. That allows Keaton Anthony to move to second, and the Fightin Phils are on the board first. It's 1-0.
I mean, excellent play all around. Good piece hitting by Anthony, going the opposite way. Good job by Mendez the third, Anthony to follow the play, and Miller to score. Great play all around by the Fightin Phils.
So still now a couple of runners in scoring position for Felix Reyes, who had the Fightin's lone hit coming into this inning, but 3 straight singles now here in this fourth. Phils up 1-0 and a chance for a whole lot more here. 2 on, nobody out. And Reyes' first pitch to him is on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Actually, that really, now looking at it, that really wasn't on the outside corner. That was right there. This one lifted straight up center field. Schnell will come in on it. Mendez is tagging, and the throw will not be in time. It'll be a sacrifice fly and an RBI, and the Fightins now lead it 2-0. In the meantime, Keaton Anthony stays put at third base, so he's still in scoring position with 1 out. And I'll bring up Luis Verdugo. RBI number 2 on the season for Felix Reyes. Verdugo a strikeout victim his first time up. And first pitch, Verdugo looked like he was fooled a little bit on that one. And he takes it for a called strike 1. Il Choi from the stretch. Long look in, delivers way outside. It's 1-1. Choi pitched both AA and AAA last year, and he's done the same so far here since signing with the Nationals. Started this season with AAA Rochester and not very effective. They come with that 3/4 sidearm delivery again and misses low. It's 2-1. This one, Verdugo fouls out of play. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the long ball has been the problem for Choi. 5 home runs surrendered in his combined 4 starts between Harrisburg and Rochester. 3 starts with Rochester and 1 start prior to this one with the Senators. He's in a 2-ball and 2-strike count now to Luis Verdugo, who did hit a home run last night, in addition to a double. Now time is called. Gonna guess that was on the hitter calling the time. So everybody will reset. Keaton Anthony will take his lead off of second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Verdugo goes down for a second time on strikes. The 4th strikeout for Choi will put 2 outs on the board and will bring Elio Prado to the plate. Prado grounded out to shortstop his first time up. So Anthony now at second base with 2 outs as the Phils try to add on here. They've got 2 across and looking for more. And the first pitch to Prado, over for a called strike. Prado was 0 for 2 last night, but he did get on base 3 times with a couple of walks and hit by a pitch. And this one hit hard down the third base line. It's a foul ball.
Ooh, that was close.
Everybody just kind of froze for a moment. Senators were hoping. Phils were hoping. The Senators got the call they were hoping. Prado hit it on a rocket down the third baseline, but just foul. So it's now no balls and 2 strikes to the Phils center fielder, who does have 8 RBIs on the season. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Choi comes back and gets 3 straight outs after giving up 3 straight hits. But the Phils do get the damage. As they put 2 runs across, they do it on those 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left. 4 complete. It's now 2-0. Fightin' Phils on top. Welcome back to FirstEnergy Stadium as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. The Auburn University Golden Wolves call to the bullpen has been made, and the right-hander Jack Dallas comes in now for the Fightin' Phils.
7th game for Dallas, a 4.35 ERA. He's got 10 strikeouts, 3 walks over 10 1/3 innings pitched.
So Moises Chase will not be in a position to get a decision, but he does go 4 innings. Gave up 3 hits, did not give up a run. Struck out 4, only walked 1. So all in all, pretty good performance for Moises Chase. Like to see him get that chance now to get to that 5th inning bond and put him in a position for a decision. Dallas taking over and facing 8, 9, and 1 due up in the Senators lineup. That's Maxwell Romero, Cortland Lawson, and the top of the order in Philip Glasser. 1-0 pitch to Romero. Misses down low, and it's quickly 2 balls and no strikes. Romero started the 3rd inning with a base hit. As both 8 and 9 in the Senators lineup got hits last time up. This time, Romero slices this one down the 3rd base line and headed towards the grandstands. 2 balls and a strike. Romero hitting at just 143 as this game began. 2-1 pitch. There for a called strike 2. Dallas, 26-year-old right-hander. Appropriately enough for a guy named Jack Dallas. He is from Texas originally, Beaumont, Texas. This one lifted down the third base line. Mendez and Verdugo will give it a chase, but that too will find the third base grandstand. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes still to Maxwell Romero. Dallas last year made 39 appearances at Jersey Shore. 3 of them actually were starts. The other 36 obviously out of the bullpen. 2 balls and 2 strikes from the righty. He delivers, and this one on the ground towards Farquhar, has to backhand it. Second baseman off balance throw, does reach Keaton Anthony, and that is out number 1. Nice backhanded stop by Trent Farquhar at second base for the first out here in the 5th. Fightin's lead at 2-0 after putting 2 across in the bottom half of the 4th. And that brings up Cortland Lawson. As I said, Lawson also singled his first time up, and that one just misses outside. And a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1 to Lawson. Lawson did not play in last night's game. Starting at shortstop, he's a big guy, 6'2" and 200 pounds. 1-1 pitch is lifted down the first base line and out of play. Despite that size, he was not able to produce the long ball last year playing for Harrisburg. 105 games for the Senators last year, hit .217 with no home runs and 31 RBIs. This one right back through the box, and he'll have his second hit of the night as his line drive into center field is the 4th hit of the game for the Senators. So Cortland Lawson is 2 for 2, and that flips the lineup around now to Philip Glasser, who is 0 for 2. Glasser taking over the leadoff spot in the Senators lineup after Dalen Lyle, who had a couple hits in last night's game, including a solo home run, was promoted today to AAA Rochester. So Glasser now steps into his leadoff spot. And he lines the first pitch he sees from Dallas in left field for a base hit. So again, a couple of consecutive singles here for the Senators. 2 on and 1 out. And Nick Schnell now will bat. Schnell 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. But a .329 hitter when this game began. Also has 7 extra base hits. As Dallas working from the stretch, takes a look back at second, delivers his pitch, broken bat roller to Farquhar at second. Flips to Miller for 1. The relay is not in time. Schnell has pretty good speed, and getting out of the left-handed batter's box just beats it out. So it'll be a fielder's choice. The out at second is the second out of the inning. And the Senators now will have runners at the corners and 2 outs for Yoande Morales. So Lawson at third base, Schnell at first, with Morales 0 for 2 at the plate. And the first pitch to Morales is over for a called strike. Morales with a couple of healthy cuts his last time up. Those, of course, against Moises Chassé. Morales, the number 12 prospect in the Nationals organization. Takes this one outside. Product of the University of Miami, a second-round draft pick of Washington in the 2023 draft. Limited to 69 games a season ago with the Senators. Hit .269 with 5 home runs. 1-1 pitch to him. Fouls this one out of play. But he's all but matched that already this season with his home run last night. He's got 4 home runs, 12 RBIs on the year, and a double to go along with it, and a total of 3 RBIs in last night's ball game. He's in a 1 and 2 strike hole right now. Dallas looking to get out of trouble here. Just squirted it foul. Not quite sure what part of the bat that hit. It was a very awkward look from Morales. And it stays 1-2. So far, Schnell has not shown any indication he might take off at first. And Dallas thinking the same with a pickoff attempt. No problem for Schnell to dive back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 outs. Top half of the 5th, Fightin' Phils lead it 2-0. Dallas delivers. This one again fouled away. So Morales wasting some pitches, hoping for something better that he likes. And Dallas will try it again at 1-2. Just got a piece of it again off the end of the bat as Morales wastes another.
Yeah, Morales a couple of times this at bat has just been getting ever so slightly a piece of it.
So the battle continues between Jack Dallas on the mound, Yohandy Morales at the plate. Pitch out, nothing happening. So Nava thought maybe Schnell might be taken off at first. Instead, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Morales. And again, just a piece of it, and got a lot of Andric Nava. Morales just got a piece of it on the bat, and it hit Andric Nava. And here comes Al Padrique and the training staff to take a look at his catcher.
Yeah, Al and Sarah Binkley coming out. Got somewhere on the lower part of Nava.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where. If it got a foot, got a leg, what it got. Of course, Nava spent some time on the IL last year with an ankle issue, chasing after a foul ball behind home plate. But he's all right here. He's going to stay in the ball game. I don't know if he's all right, but he's going to stay in the ball game.
I mean, catchers are
That's
tough.
2 different things. Top half of the 5th inning, we take a look at today's Phil's alumni report presented by Deer Country. And Bryson Stott with a couple more hits in that leadoff spot drove in another run for the Phils. They lead at 4-2 at Citizens Bank against the Washington Nationals. This is the Harrisburg Senators. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Morales. Over for a call, strike 3, and that will do it. Morales goes down looking for a second time for the Senators here in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 more left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It remains 2-0. Fightin' Phils on top. Bottom half of the 5th inning is presented by Cornwall Manor, a unique and charming community nestled on a 190-acre wooded campus with many walking trails, including the Lebanon County Rail Trail. Fightin' Phils lead it 2-0 as they come to the plate here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And Andric Nava, who took that foul ball in the top half of the inning, will lead off for the Fightins, to be followed by Colton Bender and Trent Farquhar.
Yeah, see the bottom of the lineup here for Reading. Can get a few base runners, flip it back to the top, who did the damage last inning.
Hyun Il Choi at 58 pitches as this inning begins. And as of yet, nobody's starting to warm up for the Senators. Nava grounded out to second base his first time up. Switch hitter batting left. First pitch just misses. It's 1-0. Ethan Gorsak calling the balls and strikes. Rafael Pineda at first. Tyler Whitty at third in our three-man Eastern League umpiring crew. 1 ball and no strikes to Nava. And that's right down the middle for a called strike one. Phil strung 3 straight hits together with a sacrifice fly by Felix Reyes to get their 2 runs last inning. This one lifted into shallow left field, actually a lot deeper than I thought. Drifting back and almost to the warning track was Nick Schnell, and makes the catch easily in left center field for out number 1.
Yeah, Nava gave that one a ride. It was an off-speed pitch, pretty much center cut, and he hit it pretty well. 99 off the bat, 365 feet, just hits it towards one of the deepest parts of the park.
So that'll bring up Colton Bender. Bender grounded out to third base his first time up. Bender seeing his first action here in baseball town. Right-handed hitter is the DH tonight. And he takes the first pitch from Choi low and away for a ball. Top of the order, and Trent Farquhar in the on-deck circle for Reading. On another absolutely beautiful night here in baseball town. 1-0 pitch, lifted foul and out of play. For the first time in this series, the American flag is pretty still in straightaway center field.
This is the first time this season.
That may be an accurate assessment. 1-1 pitch is up high. It's 2-1. It has been a windy start to 2025, at least on the home dates. 2-1 pitch. Back through the middle, slow hop to Wallace, the second baseman. He'll make the play to first in time. Little humpback line drive that got by Choi, but Wallace was right there behind him for the out.
Yeah, it got right by Choi, and a pitcher probably thinking, oh, shoot, that might be a base hit. But no, Wallace, scouting report is correct, was standing in the right spot.
So that brings up Farquhar, who's 0 for 2 in the night. Was safe on an error by Wallace to lead off the game, and then grounded back to Choi, his last time up. So back-to-back up the middle for Farquhar in his first 2 plate appearances. And that's over on the outside corner for a called strike. Back in that familiar leadoff spot for Farquhar, although Robert Moore has been leading off the last couple of games for the Fightin' Phils. Moore with the night off tonight. Farquhar, the 0-1 pitch to him. Misses up and away. It's 1-1. Fightin' Phils bullpen is quiet as well, so it appears Jack Dallas will get another inning. 1-1 pitch. This one on the ground towards first. Naranjo bobbles it, but he's right by the bag, picks it up, steps on that bag, and that'll do it for the Phils here in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And we're through 5 in baseball town. Remains 2-0 Reading on top. Established in 1928, the Manor Golf Club is one of the oldest public courses in eastern Pennsylvania. Located between Philadelphia, Lancaster, and Allentown in Sinking Spring, it offers a true test of golf on a championship-style course. Visit themanorgolfclub.com for more information. Alongside Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCoy. You're listening to the Reading Fight Phillies Radio Network on our flagship 830 WEEU.com. The Phillies on top 2-0. Jack Dallas out for his second inning of work. And it'll be Caden Wallace who will lead off for the Senators. Wallace 1 for 2, singled his last time up to start the fourth inning. And he drives this one to straightaway right center field. Prado back, long run, and will make the catch on the warning track right in front of the Redners Event Center. One pitch, one out here in the sixth. Wallace hit it well, but Prado able to run it down, and that'll bring up Joe Naranjo. Naranjo 0 for 1. He walked back into second inning, flew out to right field his last time up. And Dallas catches the outside corner for a called strike one. Dallas first 39 games this season last year with Jersey Shore, and then a late promotion to Reading, pitched 2 games with the Fightins as Naranjo comes up empty with a swing and a miss on a cutter. It's no balls and 2 strikes to the left-hand hitter. One of 5 lefties in manager Delino DeShields lineup tonight. 0-2 pitch. Just misses outside, and Naranjo lays off. It's 1-2. Shields, the former Montreal Expo and Los Angeles Dodger. Pretty good second baseman in his day. Great wheels. 1-2. Just misses. Guess that was low.
Yeah, maybe by a hair.
I'm going to guess that there's a comment being made in the first base dugout. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beats this one on the ground towards Farquhar on a couple of hops. The second baseman tosses it to first for no problem, and 2 outs in the sixth.
Farquhar, ever so reliable at second base, just 1 error this season, and he's been there pretty much every day this year. Makes a nice play on a slowly hit ground ball.
So that brings up Carlos De La Cruz, who's 0 for 2. De La Cruz flew out to right, struck out his last time up. Both of those at bats against Moises Chasse, who went the first 4 innings. Gave up 3 hits and no runs. And Dallas working and trying to get through the last batter here of his second inning of work. Trying to get De La Cruz, who takes the first pitch down low for a ball. And the second for a called strike on the outside corner. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Carlos De La Cruz. Fouls this one straight back. De La Cruz with 6 extra base hits on the year. 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. 7 RBIs to go along with it. Had 1 of those doubles and a couple of those RBIs last night on the line drive down the first base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to him here. Up and in. De La Cruz thinking he's going to get something on the outer half, kind of started to dive into it a little bit and had to lean out of the way of it. Two-2 pitch. Up and in again. It's full count. Phils have only walked 1 batter so far. That was by Chasse back in the second inning. 3-2 pitch. On a hop down the third base line, but foul. So we'll try it again at 3-2. This one lifted down the first base line and slicing out of play. Senators have hit a lot of foul balls tonight. Dallas winds and delivers. And De La Cruz beats another one foul.
That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. 4 foul balls from Carlos De La Cruz.
Dallas, very uncharacteristic for anybody out of the bullpen. Comes from the windup. 3-2 pitch. And another foul ball by De La Cruz. Just about everybody coming out of the bullpen anymore pitches from the stretch. But Jack Dallas, with nobody on base, does pitch from the windup.
36 pitches Mitch Noonborn up and throwing in Reading's bullpen.
3-2 again. Just misses ball 4. It's been a pretty tight strike zone for the Fightin' Phil's pitchers tonight. And De La Cruz walks. Second walk, as we said a moment ago, surrendered now by the Fightin's pitching staff. Chase and now Dallas, each one. With 2 outs, De La Cruz on board for Jeremy De La Rosa. De La Rosa 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch lifted straight up, shallow right. Reyes charging in, Farquhar going back. Farquhar will give way, Reyes will call him off and make the catch for the 3rd and final out of the 6th inning. For the Senators in the 6th, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Still 2-0, Fightin' Phil's on top. Gun Il Choi back out there for a 6th inning of work as the Fightin' Phils look to add on to a 2-0 advantage. Aiden Miller will lead it off for the Phils, to be followed by Hendry Mendez and Keaton Anthony for Reading. Miller 1 for 2 on the night. Singled and scored his last time up. Flew out to right field his first time up. Facing Choi, obviously now for the 3rd time, and the first pitch to him is ripped into left field, again shallow, but this time it will hang up for De La Rosa, and that's out number 1 here in the 6th on 1 pitch.
Left fielder
Hendry Mendez 1 for 2 with a bunt base hit his last time up. Before Mendez strolls to the plate, give us a chance for our This Day in Baseball Town History, presented by Body Zone Sports and Wellness, the official workout facility of the our Phils. We're taking you back to April 30th of 2012 tonight in our This Day in Baseball Town History. First pitch to Mendez isn't tied for a ball. At Manchester, winning pitcher Trevor May, who's going to the Fightin' Phil's Hall of Fame in 2025. He was the winning pitcher as he wraps up the Eastern League Pitcher of the Month award as well. Pitch to Mendez, started and was not able to stop. I don't know it would have mattered whether it would have called strike or not. It's strike 1 regardless to Mendez. It's 1-1. So Trevor May wraps up Eastern League Player of the Month honors by allowing 2 runs on 9 hits, strikes out 7 in a 3-2 victory over New Hampshire. May wins all of his April starts, goes 5-0, posting a 2.40 ERA. 33 strikeouts in 30 innings. Hug Hewlett, 0 for 24 entering the game, avoids a hitless opening month by going 1 for 3 and scoring the go-ahead run in the 7th inning. April 30th of 2012. 2 balls and a strike to Hendry Mendez. That's outside for a ball. It's 3-1. So yeah, the Hall of Fame inductions this year for here in Baseball Town will all have a tie together. All were on the same team at one time. Darren Ruff, Trevor May, and the manager, Dusty Wathan. 3 balls and a strike to Hendry Mendez. Lines this one into right field for a base hit. Over a leaping Joe Narano and down in the corner. Mendez is around first and headed into second, and he'll get there with a stand-up double.
So how about another 2-hit night for Hendry Mendez? 6th double of the year, 7th multi-hit game of the season for Hendry Mendez, but not to make anyone feel older than we are, but 2012 was 13 years ago. That just feels crazy.
Why? Because you were, what, like 6th
Well,
grade?
I was delivering tickets in Westchester for Westchester Night on Monday, and I went to my middle school, and it's just crazy to think that I was in middle school over a decade ago at this point.
See? That's how old you are. Hendry Mendez now with 5 hits in this series. Takes his lead off of second with 1 out for Keaton Anthony. Anthony takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Anthony with an RBI single his last time, up 1 for 2 on the night.
Now, contrary to what some people may think, I am still under 30, so we're okay there.
I almost forgot about that. I don't see how I could possibly forget about
We won't
that.
let you forget.
1-0. On the outside corner, it's 1-1. That really bothered you, didn't it? That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's more funny.
3 weeks ago.
It's more funny than anything.
I think it's great.
Kepler just homered, 6-2 Phils.
Choi looks back at second. Comes with his 1-1 pitch to Anthony, and that's low for a ball. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Keaton Anthony. Anthony with his 12th RBI of the season with that single back in the 4th inning. Ties him now for team lead with Robert Moore, who has the night off. Can take that lead right here. Hits this one foul, however, down the third base line. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Holden Pell is up and throwing in the Senators bullpen.
Felix Reyes in the on-deck circle with Anthony at the plate and a 2 balls and 2 strike count with a man at second and 1 out. Bottom half of the 6th. Fightin's on top 2-0. Beats this one foul behind the plate. Staying alive at 2-2. Hendry Mendez with his 6th double of the season takes his lead off of second. Now time called at the plate by Anthony. Choi about to throw his 80th pitch of the night. And Anthony takes it up and in. The count is full. So we'll see if this might be the last hitter that Choi faces. Count full again for now. This time it'll be, I think that was the catcher Romero who called time. So the count full to Keaton Anthony. Lifts this one foul and out of play. Infield plays Anthony to pull. Right field and center play him the other way. De La Rosa in left field plays him to pull. So there's a huge gap in left center field for Keaton Anthony. 3-2 pitch. Lifts this one foul and out of play again. Stays at 3-2. Anthony does go the other way a lot, including his double off the right center field fence last night. Three-two. Back through the middle, slow roller, scooped up by Lawson, the shortstop, the first in time. Mendez will move up to third base, but now with 2 outs.
Yeah, good read by Mendez. Ball was hit to the left side, but it was to his left. And kind of that general rule of thumb is the ball is hit behind you, you take off, and that's what he did, and at least get him to third. So there's 2 outs. You need a hit, but fastball, wild pitch does bring the run home here.
So there is a conversation now with Romero, whether this is a stall or not. As you said, that Keaton Anthony might be the last batter he faces. So we'll see if that's what the conversation is with Romero. Can't be any other real reason. I mean, you're not going out to talk to your catcher, your pitcher, talk to your pitcher in the bottom of the 6th this far in. Not like you're changing anything up. But as of now, no change. Lando DeShields not yet ready to pop out of the dugout, so it looks like he will face Reyes, who is 1 for 1 on the night. Singled in the second, had a sacrifice fly his last time up, driving in his second run of the season. So it's been a productive night so far for Felix Reyes. He's got a runner at third and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Takes the first pitch up and away for a ball. And this one fouled out of play down the first baseline. 1 ball and 1 strike to Reyes. Up and in, had to duck backwards out of the way of that one. Reyes last year at Jersey Shore drove in 50 while hitting 8 home runs in 85 games played. Trying to drive one in here. 2 balls and 1 strike to him. Reaches out and slaps at it, falling fast in right field. It will fall in front of De La Cruz for a base hit and an RBI, and the Phils do get the run. It's 3-0.
Have a night, Felix Reyes, someone who's been hitting the ball very hard, hits it a little softer and is able to get himself a RBI right there.
Just hit it in the Bermuda Triangle between second base, right field, and center field. Perfect spot. And Reyes, for a moment, thought about trying to see if, in fact, he could go to second as De La Cruz bobbled it for a moment trying to pick it up. And so, well, we were 1 batter late as here comes Delino DeShields, and it looks like Hyun Il Choi's night is over. As Felix Reyes gets him for a base hit to make it 3-0, and we're going to get a pitching change when we come back to FirstEnergy Stadium. So the Vernon University Golden Wolves call a bullpen has been made. It's a right-hander, Holden Powell, coming into the game now for the Senators.
The 25-year-old, it's his 9th appearance. He's 0-1, an 8.22 ERA. He's allowed 7 earned runs on 5 hits over 7 2/3 innings pitched. 1 home run surrender. Opponent's hitting just 185 against him, but he's walked 10 and struck out 10.
25-year-old right-hander comes into a man on first, 2-out situation and facing Luis Verdugo. Phils with a run across and a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Verdugo 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts facing Choi, so sure, he's probably happy they made the pitching change when they did. Fresh arm, fresh look now for Verdugo, who had a couple hits in last night's game. With Reyes at first, and the first pitch to Verdugo is there for a called strike 1. So 2 RBIs now on the night for Felix Reyes as he takes his lead off of first. And the 0-1 pitch coming to Luis Verdugo. Swing and a miss. Verdugo now will call time. Doesn't seem like he's picking the ball up the way he did last night. This seems Very late defensive swing there, and he had the same a couple of times against Choi. So he's in an 0-2 hole here. Over for a called strike 3, and that will do it for the Phils in the 6th. But again, more damage, a run. They do it on a couple of hits, no errors, and they leave 1. 6 complete. It's now the Fightin's 3, Senators nothing. We head to the 7th, and the Alvernia University Golden Wolves call the bullpen has been made for the Fightin' Phils. Their third pitcher tonight will be right-hander Mitch Neuenborn.
6 appearance for Neuenborn. He's looked strong so far this year. 1.17 ERA, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk over 7 2/3 innings pitched.
Top of the 7th inning, presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more information. Maxwell Romero, Cortland Lawson, and Philip Glasser. That's 8, 9, and 1 in the Senators lineup. Facing Neuenborn. Romero, first pitch swinging, and lines this one foul. A little humpback liner, and almost got his third base coach, Oscar Salazar, with a duck out of the way. Off the end of the bat. Romero doing the patented tapping of the handle of the bat, make sure it's not cracked in any way. In the meantime, Mendez has to go chase down the foul ball. Romero 1 for 2 on the night, singled in the 3rd, grounded out the 2nd his last time up. Senators have had good production out of the 8 and 9 spot, 3 hits and 4 plate appearances so far for 8 and 9 in the lineup. And there's an off-speed pitch and a beauty there from Neuenborn. Had Romero way out in front of the curveball. No balls and 2 strikes. Just misses on the outside corner. And Romero doesn't chase. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now. That's way up high. Easy take that time. It's 2 and 2. And misses again. Now that quickly it turns into a full count. Moises Chasse started. He went 4. Jack Dallas goes 2. And so Neuenborn takes over here in the 7th. And a 3-0 Fightin' Phils lead. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Can't catch up to the high heats. 1 out here in the 7th.
Yeah, good job by Neuenborn. Obviously, not a flamethrower. You know, fastball sits low 90s, but does a great job changing speed, changing locations, and at that time, changing eye level, getting a fastball up high. Looks really good to hitter Romero, but just can't catch up to it.
So that'll bring up Cortland Lawson, and he is 2 for 2 out of that 9 spot. Couple of singles, and this is going to be a 3rd one as he lines this one into left field. Mendez tries to get over to cut it off. Cannot. It's going to bounce up against the fence, And Courtland Lawson is 3 for 3 now with a stand-up double with 1 out here in the 7th.
Yeah, sometimes when it's your night, and Courtland Lawson is in that situation. So a little more traffic on the base pass. 6 hit tonight for Harrisburg. Let's see if Mitch Newborn can pitch around it here.
Philip Glasser, leadoff man, is 1 for 3 so far. Singled his last time up. Left-hand hitter, infield plays in the pull. Looks like the outfield pretty much straight away. And first pitch to him is there for a called strike.
That was a pretty nice slider. Started up and in and kind of gave up on it, and then it snapped right back into the zone.
Glasser, left-hand hitter with a very open stance. But we'll slap it the other way. That's how he got his base hit the last time. A 1 pitch. Off way out in front, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Really pulled the string on the curveball. And Glasser now will call time and kind of reset. 1 on, 1 out. Top half for the 7th. Glasser came into the game hitting at 370 and now 1 for 3 on the night. 0-2 pitch. Rips it foul down the first base line and off the facing of the Savage 61 dugout suite. Kicks into right field. Felix Reyes will have to go pick it up. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Newborn from the stretch takes a peek back at second. Delivers 0-2. Foul down the third base line this time. And now Mendez will have to go run it down. Phils and Senators back at it again tomorrow night at 6:45. Same for Friday, same for Saturday. Friday night and Saturday night. We'll finish off the night with some fireworks. And of course, Sunday, our first 5:15 Sunday start of the season. No balls and 2 strikes. It remains to Philip Glasser. Up high, he lays off. Count 1-2. And Newborn delivers again. Bounces this one up there off of the chest protector of Nava. Rolls all the way back to the backstop. And no problem for Lawson to move up to third.
Yeah, really not much that Nava could do on that one. Tough one to block. Just took a really, really tough ricochet. And so with 1 out and the man on third, Fightin's going to keep the infield back, basically saying, hey, we can get the second out. We're willing to trade it for a run.
With a 3-0 advantage and 2 balls and 2 strikes on Philip Glasser. And another one in the dirt. It's 3-2. So the second time he's been 3-2 on a hitter. And he reaches out, slaps this one down the third base line, and just foul. Yeah, Glasser did the same thing last time, slapped one into left field for a base hit, and that one he just missed putting it down the line. So he'll have to come back. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Philadelphia Phillies coming to play in the bottom of the 7th. They lead at 6-2. Christopher Sanchez in his return to the mound went 5 innings tonight for the Phils. Gave up 5 hits and 2 runs through a total of 87 pitches. So a 6-2 lead for the Phillies. Playing the parent club of the Harrisburg Senators. And we'll try it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Glasser again slaps it out of play. You mentioned this last night that not only are the Phillies and the Senators, the Phillies and the Nationals playing their AA affiliates, with Reading playing Harrisburg, but Rochester and Lehigh Valley are also playing each other in Rochester. So Major Leagues, AAA and AA, Phillies and Nationals and their affiliates playing one another. Glasser again, 3-2. Pulls this one foul. So he's spreading the wealth with the foul balls. Down the first base line, down the third base line as well.
10 pitches this at bat.
Making Neuenborn work. 17 pitches in the inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes as Lawson again takes his lead off of third. And this one on the ground, backhanded by Anthony at first. Racing the bag, he'll toss it to Neuenborn in time. The run will score. Makes it a 3-1 game, but Keaton Anthony with a nice pick.
That's a Gold Glove play by a Gold Glove first baseman. We'll take a look at the replay on our MILB TV feed. Oh, man, tough play by Anthony. He does a great job sticking with it. Run does score, but hey, in a game like this, you'll take that run if it means that second out. Base is clear now for Schnell.
4th RBI of the season for Glasser, and as Jake said, nobody on now in 2 outs for Nick Schnell, who's 0 for 3 on the night. First pitch from Neuenborn is low and inside off the back foot. It's 1-0. And misses again. It's 2-0. Schnell, the left-hand hitter, lines this one into center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So the second hit of the inning, and that quickly now there is back to having a man on base and a dangerous hitter in Yohandy Morales coming to the plate.
Yeah, brings the tying run up. Morales has struck out a couple of times tonight. Once against Chase, another time against Jack Dallas, who went 2 scoreless. So a big batter here for Neuenborn with 2 outs, who's thrown 21 pitches, and that'll prompt a mound visit from Brad Bergeson.
Yeah, I think this is just a let's be careful moment here. Morales had 3 hits last night, including a double and a home run and 3 RBIs. Seems to be that he's kind of starting to figure it out a little bit here in 2025. He was 5 for 20 in Harrisburg's 6-game series against Erie. And it started out with a big night last night with the 2 extra base hits and the 3 RBIs. But again, 0 for 3 so far tonight. Struck out looking his last 2 times up. 2 of those were against Moises Chase. 1 of them against Jack Dallas. So now facing Mitch Neuenborn for the first time with a runner at first base and 2 outs. And a run across for the Senators here in the 7th. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Schnell takes his lead off of first. Not a large lead. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Again, goes chasing after the slider away. So the Phillies have given him a pretty healthy diet of off-speed pitches tonight. And they've got him now in a 1-ball and a 1-strike count. Slow roller towards short. Miller with a play. Fine play. And a flip to second base for the out. Aiden Miller ranges far to his left. Makes the play on the flip to Farquhar covering at second. And that will retire the side here in the 7th inning. For the Senators, 1 run. They do it on 2 hits. No errors and 1 man left. 7th inning stretch in baseball town. It's the Fightin' Phils 3 and the Harrisburg Senators 1. 3-1 is our score as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Jake Starr entertaining the masses here at FirstEnergy Stadium with his rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And Elio Prado will lead it off for the Fightin Phils.
Smell funnel cake right now, Bob?
Is that what I smell? Yes.
I think I do. It smells fantastic.
Yeah, there's people right in front of it. I thought it was just Magoo.
Well, Magoo does make the funnel cake,
Correct.
so.
It would make sense.
I was just making sure.
But he's walked away,
Yeah.
so it's not. Holden Powell back out there. He came in to get the last out of the 6th inning. So he faces Prado, Andrick Nava, and Colton Bender here in the bottom of the 7th after the Senators put a run across in the top half. And Prado takes the first pitch from Powell inside for a ball. This inning of baseball brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. Have you or a loved one been injured? Get justice. Call Swartz Culleton, 1-800-JUSTICE. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Prado as he takes that slider from Powell over for a called strike 1. Powell, a UCLA product, born in Visalia, California. And misses inside. It's 2-1. Powell drafted by the Washington Nationals in the 3rd round of the 2020 draft. Six-foot, 190-pound right-hander delivers his 2-1 pitch. Way inside, almost hit him. But Elio Prado, who was hit by a pitch last night, has also been almost hit about 4 or 5 times in this series. So it's 3 balls and a strike now to him, leading off here in the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss. Prado comes up empty, and the count is full. And fouls one away.
Powell, cool birthday, 9/9/99. Now, do you know which Phillies prospect he shares a birth date with? Same day, same year.
Why did I think I just heard this. Tell me, because I know I just heard this the other day.
Otto Kemp.
Ah, there you go. And what a season Otto Kemp is having so far as for the Iron Pigs. 3-2 pitch as Prado fouls one away again off the backstop. Otto Kemp with a cut, 2 more home runs last night now for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. And he's presenting an interesting problem for the Phillies organization as to exactly where he fits in. 3-2 now to Elio Prado. Swing and a miss. Comes up empty, and that is strikeout number 2 now for Powell, and out number 1 here in the 7th.
I mean, look, in the case of Otto Kemp, you keep hitting, they're going to have to figure out a spot to put you.
Exactly right.
That's why they played him some in left.
Yep.
They played him some at first base, second base. I know third's his primary position, but they're just trying to find a spot where Kemp not get fit, just try and be as versatile as possible.
Andrick Nava, the switch hitter, bats. The first pitch lifted into shallow left. De La Rosa will make up the ground and make the catch for out number 2 as Nava is retired on 1 pitch. For the second out here in the 7th to bring up Colton Bender, who's 0 for 2. Yeah, for 2 reasons, he presents an interesting problem. One is, where does he play? And the answer probably is wherever you can find a spot. But he gives the Phils a right-handed bat, and they are left-handed dominant right now at the big club. That's why Wes Wilson's getting back and playing was so big, and ultimately why they had to let
Cody
Clemens go, because they just needed a right-handed bat. And Cody Clemens has done everything the Phils would have asked him to, but he's a left-handed stick. No balls and a strike now to Colton Bender. Beats this one foul down the first baseline. It's no balls and 2 strikes now to Bender, the 9-hole hitter tonight. But Kemp certainly showed some promise last year, played a solid third base. But the bat just kept getting better and better and better, and it's been great this year. 0-2 pitch, way up and away. It's 1-2. Much like Gabriel Rincones opened up some eyes with his big spring training. And the Iron Pigs have having a heck of a start to their season as a result. It's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Phils go down in order here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 7 complete. It's still 3-1. Fightin' Phils on top. We're heading to the 8th inning in a 3-1 ball game. Pitchers duels so far here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery offers 2 great dining options, a menu with locally sourced delicious choices, and a buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Don't miss their homemade bakery items, including challah bread, danishes, cupcakes, and a variety of cakes, pies, and donuts. Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery. Owner Oz Chaudhry, our proud 2025 Fightin' Phils team partners as we head to the 8th. And Jake Starr takes over play-by-play.
Appreciate you knocking out that read for me too, Bob.
I do a lot of things for you that you don't think about. Not that you don't notice, you just don't think about.
I notice. Here's Caden Wallace. First pitch to him is swung on a fly ball towards left. Tracking pretty deep. Mendez back, then in. Couple of steps in front of the track. And Hendry Mendez makes the play for out number 1. Mitch Newborn back out for inning number 2 of work for him. And it'll be the 5-hitter Joe Naranjo who he faces here. Gunnar Mayer starting to throw in the Fightin' Phils bullpen. Fightin' Phils 5 outs away from snapping their 9-game losing streak and getting back in the win column. Next pitch is outside. It's 1-0 to Naranjo. 3-1 score, top half of the 8th inning between Reading and Harrisburg. Pitch home is over for a strike. It's 1-1. For 2 tonight's Naranjo. Next pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Do you think Joe Naranjo's favorite color is orange? Because, you know, in Spanish, Naranja is orange.
Yeah.
So, last name's pretty similar to it. Just a thought.
Question only he can answer.
That's a fair point.
Well, maybe not only he. It might be other people in his life who might know what his favorite color is.
Ball and 2 strikes to count. Pitch home. Swung on, line drive, falling into left field, base hit. Over to cut it off in the gap in left center is Mendez. He does. So it's going to be a 1-out single for Joe Naranjo, and that'll bring Carlos De La Cruz to the plate.
Such a huge spot in this game to get the Phils to the 9th inning with a lead. But the Senators have got their fair share of hits tonight, but the Phils pitchers have not helped them. Just 2 walks so far combined with 3 pitchers tonight. Dallas walked 1, Chase walked 1. And now a conversation on the mound here. And interesting that Luis Verdugo joins Andrick Nava at the mound with new and board. Not quite sure what the third baseman has to say in all of this. Guarantee it's not about whether or not Carlos De La Cruz is going to drop down a bunt. I guarantee you that's what it is. It's just a conversation to stall because here comes the skipper.
Yep. So Al Pedrique's out. Gunnar Mayer continues to throw in the Fightin' Phils bullpen. Hasn't pointed out quite yet, but I have to assume he's going to momentarily.
Yeah.
Al Pedrique is out, and
Al, every once in a while, has one of those moments where he goes out to his pitchers and says, "Look, I'm going to give you one more hitter. So make the most of it."
It could be a stall too. Let's see what happens.
Sometimes it's a stall.
And there it is. He points to the bullpen.
Yeah.
So.
The fact that Verdugo went over first gives you the indication that this is just buying some time.
So Mitch Newborn's night is done. He'll leave with the runner on first base. And it'll be a call to the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen. Gunnar Mayer will enter for the Fightin' Phils after this on the Our Phils Radio Network. New pitcher into the game out of the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen is righty Gunnar Mayer, Bob, making his 7th appearance of the season.
0-1 with a 1.50 earned run average. He's been very effective out of the Fightin' Phils bullpen. He's got his work cut out for him tonight as he's gone 6 innings so far. His 4 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. As he steps to the mound tonight, he is got 1 save in 1 save opportunity. And so theoretically, this is a 5-out save opportunity for Gunnar Mayer.
So we got the 6'6" Gunnar Mayer and the 6'9" Carlos De La Cruz, the first matchup here for the new arm. Man on first is Joe Naranjo. Top 8, 3-1 Reading on top. And Mayer's first pitch is up for a ball. It's 1-0. Mayer last pitch on Friday against Portland. Faced just 1 batter. It was Tyler Miller. He had a walk-off solo home run against Mayer in what was the last game of that trip to Portland. 1-0. De La Cruz swings. Fly ball, first base side, foul territory, and it'll go out of play. So 1-1 the count to De La Cruz. Carlos 0 for 2 in tonight's game. He's popped out. He struck out. Did draw a walk his last time up against Jack Dallas. And the 1-1. That's slowing away. 2-1 to De La Cruz. Of course, De La Cruz, ever so known here in baseball town, spent parts of 3 seasons with the Fightin' Phils. Was a free agent this offseason, signed with the Nationals. Of course, assigned to Harrisburg here in his old stomping grounds. 2-1 to him. Swinging a foul ball. Got a piece of Carlos in the box. He'll walk that one off. Take a lap around the home plate dirt circle. 2-2 the count. Home plate umpire Ethan Gorsak will dust off the play. Give De La Cruz a couple of extra seconds after fouling that ball off his lower leg. So 2-2, 1 out. Gunnar Mayer comes set at the belt. And the pitch. Just inside for a ball. The count goes full to De La Cruz. Naranjo leads off first. 2-run lead for the Fightins in the 8th. Set at the letters. Gunnar Mayer fires home. And that's low and away, ball 4. So Carlos De La Cruz works a walk. And with 1 out, that'll bring Jeremy De La Rosa to the plate.
Well, we just talked about it last inning that the Fightins have not walked batters tonight. That's just the 3rd of the game, but again, not in a position, not at a time where you want to give somebody the free pass.
So De La Rosa will dig in from the left side now. Infield trying to turn 2. First pitch, swung on, foul ball off the netting behind home plate. It's 0-1. Oh for 3 tonight's De La Rosa. A couple of pop-ups, sandwiched around a strikeout. No runners held on. Anthony behind the runner at first. Pitch swung on. Pop fly. Foul territory. Left side. Drifting over is Verdugo, the third baseman. He'll make the catch. That's a big out number 2.
Yeah, it sure is. That gets you the second out of the inning. And again, you're facing 7, 8, and 9 now, with De La Rosa being 7. And all 3 of them are guys who were not in last night's lineup, and all 3 of them are guys who are under 200 coming into the game.
So here's Maxwell Romero Jr. Also just noticing now, Robert Moore is in the game at shortstop.
Oh, you're correct.
So Aiden Miller has exited this ball game.
That's interesting. And not necessarily good, and obviously not necessarily a good thing.
And you hope
sure.
everything is okay with Miller.
I'm not quite sure when that may have happened.
And the pitch is hit in the air, deep right field. Reyes back at the wall, and it is gone. And Harrisburg has taken the lead on a 3-run home run by Maxwell Romero Jr. And just like that, this game is turned upside down.
It has continued to be a problem all season long. The bullpen just has not been able to hold on to leads. And more often than not, it's been exactly that. The long ball gets you, and again, the walk in between all of it makes it that much worse.
Second home run of the season for Romero. RBI number 5, 6, and 7. And next pitch is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. And the next pitch to Lawson is swung on, hit in the air, deep center. Back goes Prado, and he will make the catch. But the Senators take the lead. They got 3 runs. They did it on 2 hits. No errors, nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Harrisburg 4, Reading 3. Bottom half of the 8th inning, we'll take a look at our Fightin' Phillies team leaders, presented by PA Army National Guard. After another couple hits tonight, Hendry Mendez leads the team, and he's up to 22 base hits on the season. 4-3, Harrisburg now on top in this bottom half of the 8th inning. New pitcher in for the Senators. It's the lefty Garrett Davila.
Makes his 10th appearance of the season. He's 0-2 with a 5.23 earned run average. 10 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 9 strikeouts and 3 walks. He's given up 1 home run. He also has 1 hold on this season. And that might be exactly what the Senators are hoping for him here.
So here's Trent Farquhar, the leadoff man. And the first pitch to him, he squares the bunt, and it gets away from the catcher, Romero Jr. 1-0. So Holden Powell, inning and a third, no runs. Well, 0s across, 3 strikeouts, and currently in line for the win as the Senators have taken the lead. And the 1-0. Low and away, 2-0. So Robert Moore waits on deck. As we said, he subbed into the game for Aiden Miller at shortstop. And next pitch, a strike, 2-1. Not sure the status of Miller. If we get any updates, we will definitely relay that. And the 2-1. Farquhar squares the bunt, and it's foul on the first base side, 2-2. Two-two the count to Trent Farquhar. And pitch home. Swung on, fouled straight back. It's 2-2. Very funky, herky-jerky delivery from Garrett Davila, the southpaw for the Senators. And the pitch home is over for a called strike 3. So Farquhar is down on strikes. That's out number 1, and for the first time tonight, that'll bring Robert Moore to the plate.
It's also the 9th strikeout of the night for the Senator pitchers.
So Moore, the switch hitter, bats from the right side. And the first one to him. It's been up for a ball. It's 1-0. Moore, a .286 hitter on the season so far. 1-0 is up and out. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Slightly open stance from the right side for Moore. Pitch home. And that's up again. 3 balls and no strikes. Hendry Mendez awaits on deck for the Fightin' Phils. And the pitch home is there for a strike. It's 3-1. Changeup dropped in from Davila. Moore in his second season with the Fightin' Phils. 0 for 3 a night ago. Couple of strikeouts, walk and a run scored. He's reached base in his last 6. And the 0-1 is there for a strike. It's 3-2. So Moore in for Miller, who was 1 for 3 tonight. Left the game a couple of innings ago. Next pitch, foul tip, squeezed by Romero. So Robert Moore is down on strikes. Second strikeout for Garrett Davila. And that'll bring Hendry Mendez up for the Fightin' Phils. So Mendez digs in from the left side. 2 gone in the 8th. And Davila will fire home. That's a slider that was dropped and up for a ball, 1-0. Looks like it may have crossed up Romero Jr., the catcher.
He also left the ball on the ground.
Just ran right out there.
He ran out to the pitcher and let the ball land on the ground.
So 1 ball, no strikes to count to Hendry Mendez. And the pitch. Swung on at a chopper towards second. Couple of hops for a charging Caden Wallace. He'll scoop an underhand flip at the first, and it's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Davila. Way to the 9th. On top is Harrisburg. It's 4-3. Top half of the ninth inning. 4-3 Senators on top. And tonight's attendance at FirstEnergy Stadium, 3,006. Thanks to our friends at PSECU for presenting tonight's attendance. PSECU is proud to be one of the largest credit unions in Pennsylvania. So Gunnar Mayer is back out for the Fightin' Phils. He'll get the top of the Harrisburg order. It'll start with Philip Glaser. So look to keep it a one-run deficit for the Fightin' Phils before we head to the ninth inning. If you're just joining us, my name is Jake Starr, joined alongside by Bob McCool. Fightin's had led this game pretty much wire to wire, but 3 runs from Harrisburg in the top of the 8th, but the Senators on top 4-3. And Mayer's first pitch is low and away. It's 1-0. Also, if you're just joining us, Aiden Miller exited tonight's game. Not sure why. If we get any updates prior to the end of the game, we will let you know. If not, we will hope to have an update tomorrow night. 1-0 is down. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So Robert Moore is into the game at shortstop for Miller. And the 2-0 is swung on and lifted at a play foul. It's 2-1. And Mayer deals. It's there for a strike. It's 2-2. Philip Glaser tonight is a 360 hitter, 1 for 4. Did ground into a RBI ground out back in the 7th. Brought home Cortland Lawson. And he'll dig back in a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Pitch home is bit down. They will appeal. Third base umpire Tyler Whitty says no swing, so the count runs full. Both bullpens, Reading's bullpen quiet. Harrisburg does have an arm throwing. And there's a line drive into center field for a base hit. So leadoff single for Philip Glaser, and that'll bring Nick Schnell to the plate. Michael Cuevas, the arm up and throwing for Harrisburg. And
Cuevas got the save in last night's game.
So they might go to him back-to-back nights. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-1 to Nick Schnell. And he's not throwing like in case of an emergency. He's throwing like
like he means it.
He intends to come in.
Yeah.
He's not just tossing, he's throwing.
Yep.
Or I guess you could say he's pitching. 0-1 is up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, it starts with Mayer's got to keep it here. Don't make the hole any deeper than it already is.
A ball and a strike, the count to Nick Schnell. And the pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Schnell 1 for 4 tonight. Single in the 7th, couple of ground outs and a fly out to his name this evening. Glaser leads. Pitch home is swung on and fouled straight back.
And that got Nava again.
Looks like he's okay, but Ethan Gorsak will walk it out.
Yeah, I think it got off the mask. He's had a rough night back there behind the plate.
So back in is Schnell. Leading off first, Glaser. Anthony holds him on. And the 1-2 is low and away, 2-2. Mayer comes set at the belt. And the pitch home. Swung on and a cue shot down the third base line. Verdugo charges bare hands, and he will have no play. So it'll be an infield single for Nick Schnell. Philip Glaser up to second. And it's back-to-back base runners to start this inning for Harrisburg as Yoandi Morales is up to the plate.
Yeah, the scales of the of justice have tipped in this ball game. Obviously, first with a 3-run home run, but now things are just working out for Harrisburg. Nothing more than a swinging bunt off the end of the bat for Schnell, and Verdugo had zero chance of making anything happen out of that. Best thing he could have done is exactly what he did, stick it in his pocket, make sure nothing else happens.
First pitch of ball to Yohandy Morales. It's 1-0. And the pitch home. Bit up and out. It's 2-0. Pretty much the same spot as the first pitch. Morales 0 for 4 tonight. Couple of strikeouts, couple of ground outs. Wind starting to pick up a little bit. Flag blowing in straight away from center. And the 2-0 is swung on in the air to right, but slicing out of play foul. And 2-1. Swing and a miss. Bat is thrown into the stands. Yeah, it looks like it got the bushes and nobody else, which is good.
Yeah, there's nobody in the 67 club, or there's a couple of stragglers, and that's it. And the ball actually landed in some shrubbery that protects and surrounds the 67 club. So over the head and no problems. And walk of shame for Yohandy Morales. He made somebody else go get the bat.
How about Lehigh Valley, Cade Fergus, homers for the 4th straight game.
Wow.
Helps lead the Pigs to a late comeback and a 4-2 win up in Rochester.
Good things happening with Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, that's for sure.
Yeah, homers in 4 straight games from Fergus. That ties a Iron Pigs franchise record for most consecutive games with a home run. 2-2, Mayer set at the letters. And the pitch. Swung on, line drive, slicing towards right center. Prado lays out, and I think he made the catch.
I thought he made the catch.
Yeah, but it looked like Glasser left early.
Well, everybody moved up, so they're saying it's a base hit.
No.
How did he tag up and go?
Morales is coming in. I would check it second.
Absolutely.
Because it looked like Glasser left very early. Now, Schnell's there. He's entitled to the bag.
Right. But Al Padriquez is already at the top step of the dugout.
Yeah, I mean, he left if he's not caught out, I would be.
Yeah, I thought that's why I thought he dropped it, because he took off to third base.
Are they not going to appeal?
Yeah.
Or I guess they have to wait until it's put in play.
Correct.
Okay.
Now they're going to do it.
And
who's making the call? Nobody's making the call. They're all looking at each other.
Yeah, nobody made the call. There seems to be a sense of confusion between the umps, unless they have to. I think, now they're going to throw over.
Now, all right. I was going to say, they're all
they're going to say safe. I have to see a replay of that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's why I thought he dropped it, because he just took off and ran to third base.
I was convinced that he was left early, but I guess not. So second and third, 1 out. Infield comes up for the Fightin Phils for Caden Wallace. Nonetheless, an impressive catch from Prado.
It just read my mind.
Swinging a foul ball straight back. It's 0-1. Unless he had the foot on the bag when it looked like he dropped it.
I guess. At least that's what the umpire said. But to your point, tremendous catch by Prado. Off the bat, I thought for sure that was a base hit.
Now time is called by Wallace in an 0-1 count. Andrew Baker is beginning the throw in the Fightin's bullpen. No balls, 1 strike to count here. 29 pitches for Gunnar Mayer. Pitch to Wallace. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Strikeout here would be ginormous.
Great changeup there from Mayer. Phils have had the Senators off balance with changeups throughout this game, going back through Moises Chassé, who went the first 4 innings, was really good with his changeup tonight.
So 2-1 out, infield up for Reading. Second and third, the runners. The pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out.
Right back to it.
Yeah, back to the changeup. First strikeout for Mayer, so that's 2 outs. Infield can go back. And Joe Naranjo's the batter, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Single and a run scored his last time up. So Naranjo will dig in from the left-handed batter's box. Huge leadoff third for Glazer. First pitch is swung on and fouled. It's 0-1. Purdue goes way off the bag at third. Moore is nearly behind the bag at second. Farquhar is shaded towards the hole on the right side, and then Anthony is guarding the line at first with the lefty Joe Naranjo up. Then outfield hasn't played to go the other way. 0-1 is up at the letters for a ball. It's 1-1. Runners each get their leads, neither being held on. As Gunnar Mayer comes set at the belt, pitch home. Swing and a miss, it's 1-2. Naranjo tried to hold up, but could not.
And again, out in front of the changeup.
So 1-2, 2 outs, 2 on for the Senators. 4-3 Harrisburg, top of the 9th. Mayer deals. Swinging a ground ball towards the middle. Farquhar dives. It's by him in the right center field base hit. Glazer scores. Schnell around third. Whole score. And it's a huge 2-run single for Joe Naranjo. And the Senators get some insurance runs. It's 6-3.
No, he didn't hit it hard, but he hit a perfect spot. Farquhar playing him to pull. And the lefty just got it far enough to Farquhar's right that he could not get leather on it. And once it got in the outfield, it was definitely going to be a 2-run single. And some deadly insurance right now for the Senators with that 2 RBI single for Naranjo.
Second hit of the night for him, RBI number 5 and 6. That'll bring Carlos De La Cruz to the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. De La Cruz tonight, 0 for 2, has walked a couple of times. He's also scored a run in tonight's ball game. And the pitch. Swinging a foul ball, it's 0-2. Andrew Baker continues to throw in the Reading bullpen. Wouldn't shock me if this is the last batter that Gunnar Mayer gets tonight. Pitch home is swung on a miss. Struck him out. A couple of strikeouts for Gunnar Mayer, and that will end the top half of the 9th inning. But the Senators get 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. It's rally time for the Fightin' Phils. Harrisburg 6, Reading 3. Bottom half of the 9th inning, Harrisburg 6, Reading 3. And the Fightin' Phils are trying to snap a 9-game losing streak. And it's going to take a rally in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Reading does have a couple of wins this year when trailing after 8. And tonight's going to have to be a similar situation. And it's going to come against Michael Cuevas, who's in for the 2nd straight night.
He picked up the save last night, his first of the year. It's his 10th appearance. He's 2-0. With a 4.22 earned run average, 10 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 10 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned, 10 strikeouts. He's also walked 6.
So he'll get 4, 5, 6 of Reading's lineup. It'll start with Keaton Anthony. It's been it's been 6 unanswered runs by the Senators over the last 3 innings. 1 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. And Keaton Anthony will lead things off. Dig in from the right side here against Cuevas. 1 for 3 tonight. Anthony does have an RBI. And the pitch is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. 271 hitter overall is Anthony this season. Next pitch is over for a called strike. It's 1-1. Felix Reyes awaits on deck. Luis Verdugo third up this inning. And if you're the Fightins, you hope that line just keeps on moving after that. 1-1 is over for a strike. It's 1-2. Anthony is on a 7-game hitting streak. He's on a 12-game on-base streak. Second longest on Reading. Aiden Miller is at 14. And if you're just joining us, Miller did leave tonight's game early. 1-2 is swung on and popped up. Mile high right side of the infield. Wallace, the second baseman, comes in and will make the catch for out number 1. And that'll bring Felix Reyes to the plate for the Fightin' Phils. Reyes will dig in from the right side. 1 out in the 9th, 6-3, Harrisburg leads. First pitch is a strike, it's 0-1. Felix Reyes 2 for 3 in tonight's ball game. Couple of singles, 2 RBI as well. The sac fly in the 4th, an RBI single in the 6th. 0-1 is a slider, just a bit into the righty, it's 1-1. Reyes 3 for 4 on the early going to his season. Does have a home run, and he's driven in 3. Also a pair of doubles to his record. 1-1, way up and in. It's 2-1 to the righty as he has to duck out of the way of it. Luis Verdugo waits on deck. As it's a 2-1 count and an out to Reyes. Pitch home. Is swung on, hit on the air. Shallow center. Out is Lawson, the shortstop. And he'll make the catch on the left side of the infield for out number 2. And that'll bring Luis Verdugo to the plate as the Fightins are down to their final out. Helio Prado steps into the on-deck circle. Verdugo 0 for 3 tonight, 3 strikeouts. After a good night last night where Verdugo went 2 for 5, scored a run, doubled, homered, and had an RBI. In from the right side, Senators looking for their 2nd straight win to start this series. And Verdugo waves and whiffs the first pitch. It's no balls and 1 strike. 6-3 Senators on top. Game 2 of a 6-game series. Game 3 tomorrow night, 6:45 first pitch. Gene Cabrera on the mound for Reading. Dustin Sands on the mound for the Senators. But first, the Fightins trying to get a 2-out rally here. Fight back down 6-3. 0-1 is a slider, misses a bit down and in. It's 1-1. Cuevas looking for a save in his 2nd straight night. Deals, pitch, swung on, hit in the air towards right. Carlos De La Cruz is over towards the gap, and the right fielder makes the catch. And that will retire the side and end the ball game. Harrisburg victorious tonight, 6-3 the final. Fightins go down quietly in the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and that'll do it for tonight's game. Harrisburg wins it 6-3. We'll step aside for a moment. Bob McCool's got your postgame show coming up after this here on the Fightin' Phils Radio Network.
Welcome back to FirstEnergy Stadium, where the frustrations continue to climb here for the Reading Fightin' Phils, and none more frustrating than tonight, as the Fightin' Phils lose to the Harrisburg Senators for a second straight night and for a 10th straight game as they fall to Harrisburg by a final score of 6-3. It looked good for the home team for quite a while as Moises Chasse battled Hun-Yil Choi for the Harrisburg Senators, and we were scoreless through 3 innings. Chasse continued that through the top half of the fourth for the Senators before the Phils broke the scoreless game with a couple of runs in the bottom of the fourth inning, and it started with Aiden Miller. Miller led off with a single, followed by Hendry Mendez with a bunt base hit to put runners at first and second and nobody out. Keaton Anthony then followed with a single to center field that scored Aiden Miller. And Mendez goes around to third base, and Anthony moves up to second base on the throw home. So second and third and 1 out for Felix Reyes. He hits a fly ball to center fielder Nick Schnell. That allows Mendez to tag up and score and makes it a 2-0 game. Phils were never able to get that third run across, and it was a 2-0 game heading into the 6th inning as Jack Dallas came on for Chasse after Chasse goes 4 innings, gives up 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. So a solid performance for Moises Chasse, but again, still limited in terms of pitches and innings pitched, as the Fightins were going to hope to get Moises Chasse through 4, and that's what they got. They brought on Jack Dallas, and Jack Dallas did his job as well as we got to the 6th inning, and it was still a 2-0 game in favor of the Phils, and Reading added on with a 1-out double from Hendry Mendez as he stays hot. 5 hits now in the series for Mendez, including a couple of doubles. So a 1-out double for Hendry Mendez, and then a ground out by Keaton Anthony ultimately leads to Felix Reyes at the plate, and he dropped one in right in a perfect spot in shallow right field in front of De La Cruz, Nick Schnell, the right fielder and center fielder, and behind Caden Wallace, the second baseman, for a base hit that brings in Hendry Mendez, and the Phils led it 3-0 as Reyes picks up his second RBI of the night and his 3rd of the season, and the Phils are on top 3-0 and looking like they were in a good spot. Mitch Neuenborn came in to pitch the 7th inning, and the Senators were able to get something happening in the 7th inning. With 1 out, Cortland Lawson doubled. He had 3 hits on the night out of the 9 spot with a double to left field. A wild pitch moved him up to third base, and then Philip Glasser, leadoff man, hit a rocket to first base. A great backhanded stop by Keaton Anthony. He used Neuenborn at the bag for the putout. It allowed Lawson to score as the Phils had the infield back conceding the run, and Glasser gets the RBI, his 4th of the season, and it was a 3-1 game, and all in all, it seemed like a relatively harmless spot in the game, but in the 8th inning, everything changed. With Neuenborn to start the 8th inning, got an out and then a base hit for Joe Naranjo, so a 1 out, 1 on in a 3-1 game. Carlos De La Cruz, the first batter to face Gunnar Mayer, and he walks. A foul out to De La Rosa got the 2nd out of the inning, but then Maxwell Romero, a guy who was hitting 143 when the game began with a home run and 4 RBIs, hits a towering 3-run home run to right field, and with it, the wind in the sails of the Fightin' Phils left out completely. A 3-run home run for Romero, his 2nd of the year, his 5th, 6th, and 7th RBIs of the season, and that quickly it changed to a 4-3 Harrisburg advantage. The Senators ended up putting on additional 2 runs in the 9th inning, and on a 2-run single for Joe Naranjo to make it a 6-3 game, and the Phils went in order in the 7th, in the 8th, and in the 9th. So the Fightin' Phils did not live up to their nickname tonight as they go weekly in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and the losing streak now reaches 10 in a row. For the victorious Senators, 6 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, and 9 men left on base. For the Fightin' Phils, 3 runs on 6 hits. They committed an error as well. they left just 3 men on base. Holden Powell gets the win. He's 1-1. Gunnar Mayer takes the loss. He is 0-2. And Michael Cuevas picks up his second straight save in 2 nights. Time of the game, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Played in front of 3,006 here at FirstEnergy Stadium. So the struggles continue for the Fightin' Phils in 2025, and we'll try it again tomorrow night and see if things can change the fortunes somehow or another. The Fightin' Phils will run Gene Cabrera out there tomorrow night. Dustin Saenz will pitch for the Senators. Saenz a lefty, Cabrera the righty for the Fightin'. 6:45 is first pitch here at FirstEnergy Stadium. The Diamond Credit Union Plaza will open up at 6, and the Seating Bowl the same time at 6 o'clock here at FirstEnergy Stadium. That will do it for our coverage as Harrisburg with the win now moves to within a game of 500 at 11-12, and the Phils with the loss now are 5-16 on the season. That will do it for our coverage. For my broadcast partner, Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. The Fightin' Phils lose the second game of the series and their 10th in a row, falling to Harrisburg by a final score of 6-3 tonight. Thanks for listening to the Reading Fightin' Phils radio network and our flagship 830WEU.com. We'll do it again tomorrow night. Thanks to the skipper, Al Padrica. You'll hear the second half of his interview tomorrow night in our pregame show, and we'll have it for you beginning at 6:30. Better yet, as always, we'd love to see you here at the ballpark. Fightin' Phils lose tonight to the Harrisburg Senators. The final score 6-3. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have yourselves a great evening.